Good morning, and welcome back to the show. It is Tuesday, March 5th. I know a lot of people now are looking at the news and going, Jason Kelce's officially retiring from the NFL. I know the Eagles fans out there are kind of a little bummed and worried because last year they had a good start to the season. Things were going good. And obviously, had a little bump in the road. I think a lot of it was Jalen Hurts. A lot of things going on there. But now officially, we have Eagles. Jason Kelce has announced his retirement. We got video clips. We got pictures to pull up. We got a lot to talk about real quick. And then moving forward, we have more NFL talk, NBA talk, even fighting talk. So let's get into it right now and discuss. Look, Jason Kelce had an awesome career with the Eagles. Obviously, see his brother here, Travis Kelce. One of these things where you get to National Football League, you have a great story. People love you. The city of brotherly love. You're going to see a full clip of here. His retirement speech was great for people to watch. It was, I guess, a heartfelt conversation. I'm going to pull it up right now so you guys can hear it full, loud, and clear on live video. But he retires after a lengthy season. The longevity was great. But now he walks away, and here is the video.
So this all brings us here to today, where I announce that I am retiring. Where I announce I'm retiring from the NFL after 13 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. I won't forget the Eagles' Christmas party in 2014 and heading out afterwards with a bunch of my teammates to Buffalo Billiards, where my life would change forever. That night, I'd meet my future wife. I still remember the moment she walked through the door. The first instance is burned in my retina. It was like she glided through the opening, an aura around her. Then she started talking. And I thought, man, is this what love feels like? She was beautiful and smart, serious, yet playful. I knew it right away. I think it's no coincidence I have enjoyed my best years of my career with Kylie by my side. Every accolade I have ever received has come with her in my life. She has brought the best out of me through love, devotion, support, honesty, intelligence, and of course, a swift kick in the ass from time to time. She has also given me 3 beautiful girls and a life that increasingly brings me more fulfillment off the field than it does on. We've had a great run, Kai. I won't forget falling short to the Chiefs and the conflicted feeling of immense heartbreak I had selfishly.
You can see how tough this is for this man, right? Last conversation about football here.
For myself and for my teammates. And at the same time, the amount of pride I had that my brother had climbed the mountaintop once again. There is no chance I'd be here without the bond Travis and I share. It made me stronger, tougher, smarter, and taught me the values of cooperation, loyalty, patience, and understanding. It's only too poetic I found my career being fulfilled in the city of brotherly love. I knew that relationship all too well. And so this all brings us here to today, where I announce that I am retiring.
So you guys understand, right? So why this is kind of important and really significant is so many times you see players in the National Football League, they get to the NFL, they have great careers, a lot of times they bounce around, right? One position they're playing for the Eagles, and the next position they're playing for the Titans, or they're playing for the Bears, or they're playing for the Miami Dolphins. And you're like, they build great morale. They have a great career path. They do wonderful. They do great things. They break records. They're MVPs. They have all these things. But when you play for a long time in the National Football League with one city, like you see him with brotherly love, Jason Kelce sharing those times. Obviously, you see his brother Travis here, but playing for the same team for a long time, you build such a good, tremendous amount of respect in a city, right? You bring all these things you enjoy, the days you enjoy the city from a different level. People really know you. You have your favorite places to go, your favorite delis. It's not just like the famous things, right? It's your famous deli. That's where you order all your stuff from. You kind of build that really nice morale that people love you. The city of brotherly love has treated him so well. And what people have to understand is how important that position is. Okay, so I'm going to pull up right now something that's even, a little bit more important, maybe even more concerning. If you flip it over for me, Howard, a picture here of Jalen Hurts. So the big question is, the Eagles, I had another image. I don't know if it's there. There we go. Here, Howard. Thank you. How do the Eagles move on? The question is, what's the Eagles franchise, the football team, look like without Jason Kelce, at the center position? Someone that runs the offense. And I don't think people really understand something in particular. If you're not that much of a football fan or don't understand how important it is to have a great center in Jason Kelce, they run your offensive line. And they kind of run the offense a lot. Like the quarterback is the offense, right? You haven't been on the field. Don't understand so much in detail. The quarterback's out there running the show, calling the plays and setting things up. But the center, before the play starts, the center's calling out defensive reads. He's calling out Mike 55 or Mike 42, whatever you want to call it. He calls out the Mike linebacker, who's a middle linebacker. And then the rest of that goes on for the offensive line to know who they're blocking, understand their blocking assignment. So this is a leader. This is a captain on the field. This is the center of your football team. And then your quarterback, obviously, is your kind of heart-throbbing part of the team as a quarterback. But the center is a big part of it, like a captain on the field, another quote-unquote coach on the field who's running the show. So without him there, obviously the Philadelphia Eagles had a great team last season. They have a great team. They just didn't flourish. And when I say that is, they didn't pan out and where people wanted them. They still had a great team. They just didn't capitalize on those opportunities. Even with A.J. Brown, right, pretty good defense, offense on the running game. They had everything lined up, but now you lose your center, right? So the big question is, how did the Philadelphia Eagles bounce back, and how does Jalen Hurts bounce back? He's got to find a center that's going to step in. Is it a backup center? Is it a guy they're going to draft? They need someone who can run that offense, someone who's knowledgeable, has some experience, maybe a veteran, someone that can step right in the game and kind of bounce back and run that position. Someone on the field that Jalen Hurts can mesh with, that can run this offense in another way, because at the end of the day, that is the centerfold of your offense. Center and the quarterback. And I said it all last season. I said it even after the season. If the Philadelphia Eagles want to be great next year, they have the tools. They have the people. They have, people in the lineup that they can rely on. But the problem is Jalen Hurts has to step up. He's got to be a leader on the field. He's got to be emotionally supportive. He's got to be motivational. He has to be someone of a leader on the field and letting that team. I'm not saying he's got to yell and he's got to scream, but he's got to be a little bit more vocal, right? He's got to line these guys up. He has to be a captain, right? And I talk about this a lot. I like Jalen Hurts, played great at Alabama, played great at Oklahoma, and he also played great with the Philadelphia Eagles. And now that he's in the position to be a leader of a big franchise, we're not talking about a team, an expansion team. We're not talking about a team out in the middle of the country where the fans aren't so crazy. We're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. We're talking about the fan base. We're talking about the people walking around the streets of brotherly love. All those people that want their Eagles to win. Fly, Eagles, fly. Will Jalen Hurts be able to step up to the plate and operate as a quarterback? And the next question is, will they find someone to fill the shoes of Jason Kelce? And then pull that picture up again for me, Howard, behind there, Jason Kelce, someone who I think the NFL will miss. And the reason why this is important is because a lot of people, they like the Eagles. That's wonderful. But people that just love football in general, this is a player that he doesn't have all those accolades. You don't see him in all the newspapers right until he was at the game, with watching the Chiefs play, had his shirt off, made some more national news. You don't get a chance to watch these guys beef up and get all that publicity, all that entertainment, morale in the newspapers and all that But the guy on the right you're looking at here is a guy who's stepping away from the game. Hard to see him go. Played so many years in Philadelphia. A guy who most people would not want to see step away. But congratulations to Jason Kelce. Awesome career. Retiring at a good time. Played well. And he'll still root on Travis Kelce. The question is, will Travis Kelce retire? Another question, which they said no. But when your brother leaves, there are some other thoughts he may have in mind. But let's move on right now to the next conversation. Xavier Worthy being compared to Tyreek Hill because of his 40 time. Now, obviously, played great, was an awesome player in Texas, but check this out. This guy is running speeds, right? Breaking records for the combine. But here's the problem now, right? Instead of letting this guy get the buzz and wow, he's got speed and let's see how he can play on the field. Let's see how he can run routes. Let's see how great he's going to be. They immediately start comparing him to people, Howard, pull it up, to like Usain Bolt and people like that. And it's like, okay, look, I'm not taking anything away from the guy. Xavier Howard ran a fast time. Was great to watch him compete out there. A lot of people that didn't step, like Caleb Williams is not competing. I think he did all the right reasons for not going to the combine. He proved everything. But Xavier Worthy is doing his thing. But instead of letting this guy get the accolades, they immediately start comparing him to people like Usain Bolt. And we'll get to Tyreek Hill in a minute. At the bottom of the screen, you see Tyreek Hill. But we'll get to that in a second. They started off with that, but then they said, look, he can run as fast as Usain Bolt. And it's like, okay, let's not go down that road. I really like Xavier Worthy. He did a great job. He has speed. He's phenomenal. But let's talk about route running. Let's talk about the ability to make, defenders miss. Let's talk about the ability to be the receiver you need to be, to learn the playbook. These are the fundamental things you have to do when you step into the NFL. Obviously, college gives you an opportunity and then to the NFL. But here's really the conversation, right? You're comparing him to Tyreek Hill and Usain Bolt. Now, I'm not saying that he can't have the ability. I'm not saying that he can't step out there and get it done. But they are hyping it up. It's good for him. He gets a lot of media attention, but maybe not so fast, right? Like, Tyreek Hill is still the guy. Tyreek Hill is the guy who catches a 5-yard pass and turns it into 50 yards, 60 yards. He's a blazer. And obviously, Xavier Worthy is a blazer too. And we just saw that. We've seen him sprinting down the field. We've seen him making plays in college. And now, on the big stage, running 40 times that are people like, okay, this guy is a super blazer. Let's pull the other picture back up, Howard, see just Xavier Worthy for a second. And then they talk about Usain Bolt, and Usain Bolt ran that time at like 37 years old, was breaking records still, and retired from the game of track and field. But I'm just saying, this guy is phenomenal. We've seen his ability to run. We've seen his ability to ball. I like what he brings to the table. They compare him to Usain Bolt. Then they start comparing him to Tyreek Hill. And the biggest question really is, how does that 40 time just for the combine compare to game speed? And people are like, you're fast, you're fast. That's true. That's true. A lot of people can run a fast 40 time and they can bring it over to the field. But more importantly, when you put your spikes on, you're running on the grass, you're running on the turf, the field turf, and you're competing against NFL cornerbacks and, NFL safeties are coming up and, you're getting hit. A lot of this stuff starts to change, right? Like Tyreek Hill took a beating this year. You saw that. So reality is we need to see what he does in the NFL when he starts catching passes and getting around and getting hit by these NFL linebackers and things that will change a lot. But look, it's great to see him being compared to these great players. I'm going to say not so fast. These are some of the greatest players I've seen in the NFL. And then Usain Bolt, one of the fastest guys to ever walk human earth. So I'm just saying, great 40 time he ran, great speed, great ability. Looking forward to seeing him next in the NFL draft. Moving on, Russell Wilson to finally be released from the Broncos, right? This is actually happening now. In the next week or so, you're going to see the Broncos are finally going to release, okay? Let all the buzz and the hype and all this crazy nonsense go, right? Let Russell Wilson find his next place to play. Release him. Let him go. The Broncos benched him. We talked about this countless times. And now he's finally going to be released. Thank God. He can go somewhere else. I told him, and I told everybody, the Steelers is a great opportunity. Let this man go where he can be loved, where he can play, where he can compete. People like Kenny Pickett, even the coach said, Tomlin said, we need someone we want someone to come in and compete for the job. And I think Russell Wilson needs a home. Listen, I'm just saying, it was very awkward. And he just wanted to commit to the Broncos still. Like, he's being an excellent teammate in the media. That's fine. But it's just like, look, they don't want you there. They bench you. It's time to go. It's almost like the Zach Wilson situation. Like, you're benched and you're like, okay, I still want to be the guy. I want to win a Super Bowl here. You're not going to win a Super Bowl here. You're getting benched and we're releasing you. And obviously we're restructuring your contract. So that's not good. So at the end of the day, I'm just so glad that Russell Wilson is moving on, right? Like moving on. They don't need him there anymore. And he can finally take a breath of fresh air and go, okay, now I know my future. My future is not here anymore. I'm leaving. I'm not going to be with the Broncos. No one's going to be worried about playing here, winning games here, talking Super Bowls here. He can move on. The rest of the world can say, okay, where are the landing locations now, right? Even people like Justin Fields are in conversation of talking about the Steelers and the Falcons. And it's like, look, these players have to find a home. In the offseason, it is so important that you find a home in the offseason as soon as humanly possible, because you got to start gelling, start building, learning the playbook. It's completely different. Learning audibles. When you get up, you got different reads. If you're not watching football that much, haven't been on the field, haven't been in the locker room or the huddles and understand, there's a lot of things happen on the field that need to be caught up, and I'm sure Russell Wilson could dive into it. He can learn quickly. Some things are similar. The playbook is not, and so he has to step in there as soon as possible. Getting to the next organization or next franchise is going to benefit him greatly. Let's move on to another conversation. Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou. Okay, listen, this is what I'm saying. I love watching this, the opportunity. They're fighting on DAZN, the DAZN network. I'm still confused by that, why Showtime just dropped off and all of a sudden we're like, oh, Showtime decided to not work with the fight game anymore. It's like, what? That's weird. Like anytime you watch it, it's like Showtime. Let's go. Here comes the fight. And you got the guy in there in the red corner, in the blue corner. Like it's time, right? Showtime. Okay. That's changed a lot. And I'm not knocking the network. I'm not saying that the DAZN, DAZN network is bad. I'm just saying the coverage, the ability to do what Showtime did for years. I'm just saying right now is not the right quality, not the right, tempo just yet. I'm sure they'll get there. A great opportunity. But here's the match. And I'm just saying, on the left, Ngannou, on the right, you have Anthony Joshua. But it's like, this is to me, the guy on the left, Ngannou, is just a guy that this guy's going to knock your block off at any given time, right? And I watched his last fight. I wasn't a fan of the way they gave it to Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury is a good boxer. Howard, I believe there's a picture behind here, or is it? I think it's in the reaction with Tyson Fury. Oh, there it is there. Okay, well, here you go. Okay, now here's the thing. All right. Like I watched this fight. I saw this fight and I said, look, I think you can clearly see who's winning this fight right now. Right. And it's not like he got up and he started beating his ass. Like he literally was getting beat. And then it was, threw some blows back and forth. Not saying Tyson Fury fought bad, but he didn't knock him out. He didn't knock him down. This was a fight. If you ask me, Ngannou coming from, different fight game, the UFC kind of fighting, MMA, mixed martial arts setup, gets into boxing, earns his stripes, is laying people out. He gets in here. I think he did his thing. And then now, bring that picture back for me, Howard. It's just like, at the end of the day, this fight is something that he needs to get over again so we can get that rematch. I want to see the rematch with him and Tyson Fury. I mean, everybody that has watching boxing wants to see that rematch, right? And so my thing is this. I got LeBron coming up in a second. I want to show you something. But at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua has a chance to fight in this bout. I just don't see the opportunity for him to win. I think Ngannou wins this fight, and I think what happens is he gets his chance to get back out there again and fight Tyson Fury. And that's what people want. People want to see Ngannou and Tyson Fury. They don't want to see this fight. I know people are betting on it, and they'll show up, yada, yada. Ngannou has to win this fight so we can get the next stop and get the rematch against Tyson Fury. But let's move on to the conversation, which I wanted to get through so fast, where I hit the button and graphic and pulled it up, because LeBron James hits a new milestone, 40,000 points. I know what you're thinking. LeBron James is still in the NBA. I feel like he's been there for 100 years, and that is probably why he has 40,000 points. But all I'm saying is LeBron James, when I watch him get his 40,000 points here, comes up, boom, does it. I mean, listen, he's doing this at an age that people are like, this guy's still playing basketball. And you're like, well, maybe he shouldn't get paid that much now. He's getting older. Not really. I mean, not really. Like what I saw here is like LeBron spin move, boom. Like, I mean, to me, he's coming in like a rookie doing this stuff. Spinning off guys younger than him, a lot younger than him, putting it up, scoring points, hits 40,000 points. Do you know how many points that is? 40,000 points. Crowd goes crazy. They love it. Why this is important right now is I want people to understand something. Watching LeBron James, I think a lot of people, you can say your pros and cons. If Michael Jordan never existed, people wouldn't even probably be having the conversation, about how great he could have been or would have been or, what he's not doing. I think because you have Michael Jordan in the past, you still compare that conversation. They played at different eras. But what I think people should understand is LeBron James eventually will be out of the NBA. And so what I started doing is I started analyzing basketball. I started analyzing the NFL. I started analyzing people in UFC and saying, look, while they're here, we should enjoy what they're doing and watch what they're doing because you don't know when you're going to get your next LeBron James, right? That's why Michael Jordan is still the best of all time, or LeBron James, depending on what side of the fence you're on. It's like those people don't happen every year. They don't come every decade. They don't just show up, right? Like they randomly don't operate like this. So what I'm saying is a lot of people should enjoy what you're seeing right here. And I'll pull that clip up again of LeBron James getting his 40,000 points. Put these guys on. Enjoy them because you're not going to see this forever. And there will be guys that will come in. They'll start to slowly compare. Yeah, okay, he's similar to, Wembanyama now shows up. People are like, he's good. Are they LeBron James? Are they Michael Jordan quality? These kind of people. Probably not, right? The odds are probably not. So all I'm saying is when you're watching a guy like this and you're watching LeBron James and you're watching these guys in different sports, what I started doing is let's start watching these guys a little more and closely, analyzing their game. If you're watching, you want to be a player like that because we don't know how long they're going to be here. The Steph Currys of the world, right? How long will they be in the NBA until they're gone? And NBA in general will be completely different. When Michael Jordan, stepped away, it was like, oh, we lost Michael Jordan. But now when LeBron James eventually steps away from the NBA, I think you should say, wow, the NBA has changed drastically. So congrats to him, scored 40,000 points. Awesome to see. LeBron James, however long he'll be there, great watching him play basketball. The quote of the day today is success is what comes after you stop making excuses, right? Like you want success, I want success, everybody wants success, but it comes after you stop making excuses. So something you want to do and get out there and everyone says, well, this is why I'm not doing it, or this is the reason why I haven't gotten started, or I want to do this, but I really can't do it right now, or yeah, some of that might be true. Like I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that people don't have those opportunities, that are those bumps in the road or those things in the way. Like, man, I can't do it right now. I understand that. If you can't do this right now, make those steps to do there and stop making excuses because no one's going to help you get past those excuses. They can help you get better at what you do. They can help coach you. They can get you in the right direction. But here's the thing. They can't help you with your excuses. So success is what comes after you stop making excuses and get on the road and get started and actually move forward with your life in the direction that you want to take. And every day we give a quote of the day, and that's today. Stop making excuses. If you have those things, those bumps in the roads, you can address them, but don't make them an excuse. Just say, look, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get to this point. So that way people can step in and help you and encourage you in the right direction. If you come up with a roadblock, oh, that's my problem. People are like, okay, you can address that situation, but don't make it an excuse. Just, talk about it if you need to, get past it, and let's move forward. It's 2024. I know a lot of people right now are moving on and doing great things, creating new things. You're working from home now a lot more than ever. You may don't have to take that drive into the city or get through that traffic. Maybe you can be at home, but find those opportunities because now's the time. Stop making excuses and move forward. I appreciate that. And that was a lot for today's show. We have a lot to talk about. I appreciate all of you that are in the chat. Good morning to you. I know it's Tuesday. It's March 5th. February blew by. January blew by. And it's 2024, and all these people have these things that they wanted to do this year. I know some people, I will tell you right now, I'm willing to bet 50 to 60% of those people have said, I'll do that next year, or that was just a bit too much. Give yourself a goal that's attainable, something that you can chase after that takes some time, but don't give up. It's March. It's still the beginning of the year. We're in the first quarter. Don't give up. Keep chasing your dreams as I do every day. And I appreciate all of you joining with me here live on the broadcast, live on the show. We do have some fighters coming up more on the show and some NFL players. We actually had a guy that was coming on today. He had to get in and spar today at 10:30. We didn't want to rush him on here really quick and get to his event. But we do have people coming on, I believe, tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and then into Friday. We have 2 more guests and a live appearance and a co-host coming on to join us. I appreciate all of you today. Have a great start of your day. I appreciate you joining in with me and enjoying the ride here as we move forward, expand our network. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow at 10:30. Until next time.